What if there was a way for employees to work together from anywhere when everything is on the line? Employees are the heart of every business. It's their resourcefulness, ingenuity, and drive that get the job done. But even the best employees need help from people who aren't there with them. Now employees on site can work side by side with experts in remote locations. In an instant, they can share what they see, lend a helping hand, walk through the process step by step, helping solve problems in real time. This is a new vision for work. Now employees can work smarter and bring in the people they need with just a tap. They can troubleshoot, repair, and perform with confidence and speed. They can move freely, pull critical information into view, and stay focused on the task. Their hands free to do the work. This is collaborative problem solving at full speed. Your people, united across time and distance, more connected, more informed, and more efficient. Now employees can work together from anywhere. They can go there without being there. This isn't the future. This is here and now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session on augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. I know I'm throwing a lot of terms out there, but we are going to cover everything that we said. I'll talk about augmented reality, and then we have excellent speakers who will talk about their AR, VR journey and MR journey with us today. So I'm Inderpreet. I'm an analyst with ARC. I've been with the company from last 9 years. I'm a part of the asset performance management team, and I also cover augmented reality at the company. So I'll start off with a small presentation. Well, I'm an analyst. My presentation could be long, but I'll try to keep it short. And then we'll move on to hear some case stories about this technology. We have Matt Melody with us. He's with Reliance Industries. He's going to share a beautiful story of their AR, VR journey and how it is helping them with the training program. Then we have Santiago Arambula. He's with Tyson Group, and they are going to share their story, how they have implemented mixed reality in their warehouses. And then after these end user stories, we'll have a panel discussion. Our speakers would sit on the panel, and along with them, we have some other panelists join them. Ian Willits, he's with Aviva, and Craig Bahas, he's with Microsoft. Both of them would also sit on the panel along with the speakers and help answer any questions that you may have for the technology, or if you have a question on their story, you will be able to ask them during the panel discussion. Starting off, I'm going to talk a little bit about augmented reality and what do we mean by augmented reality, what is ARC's definition, and what are the different definitions out there that we are seeing, and you may hear about them as well. So a little bit overview, and then we'll move on to discuss what is the role of AR or augmented reality in the industrial world, talking about what kind of challenges it can help us address in the industry, and move on to discuss some of the applications. And if end users are thinking about this technology or adopting this technology, where can they start? First of all, definition. In my world or in any world, I think it's very important to define what you're talking about, because you can have an entire conversation and then realize, oh, we were talking about two different things, right? So with augmented reality, our definition is that, a very simple definition, that if you have your real view and with the use of technology, you add some digital content to it, you get an augmented view, and that's augmented reality, AR. So it's a very simple definition, but what we have seen in the industry that there isn't one term. We have so many terms out there. Well, again, as an analyst, we see that we come across with new terms all the time. And to me as well, it was a bit strange to think of augmented virtuality. Seriously? Is it augmented reality? Is it virtual reality? What is it? And as a result of all these terms, we have seen another term emerge, extended reality, which is the umbrella term that is now means everything over there that you see on the board today. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to define what we think as what is virtual reality, mixed reality, and augmented reality, and move on from there. And then we also have Craig from Microsoft join. He can share his perspective on mixed reality. Virtual reality is, I think, easier to distinguish when you talk about AR and VR, because with AR, only your partial field of view is taken by digital content. With VR, your 100% of the view is taken by digital content. So you have a completely digital experience, completely immersive experience, and you need a special headset for that, such as Oculus and Sony VR. Has anyone over here tried virtual reality? Yes, quite a lot. I haven't tried it yet. So it is used in the industry for training purposes quite a lot, and it makes sense. It pretty much feels like you are in the game, you are experiencing everything. So it's gaining a lot of popularity in the industrial world for training. Augmented reality, as I said, it overlays digital content onto users' field of view. So then if they are wearing some glasses, smart glasses, it has a see-through effect. Google Glass, Epson, there are many smart glasses out there that can be used to run an AR application. The technology came into picture about 20 years ago or so with heads-up displays. It was in the aviation industry that they wanted the pilots to look in front of them and not look at their control panel below. So they wanted to have all the key information right in their field of view, and that's why we had heads-up displays. And that's why many call augmented reality HUD as well. But that's not the only case. We have been seeing AR in our regular life quite a lot. And one simple example, I think, is a backup camera. It's your real view, and you overlay some markers on top of that. It helps you park, it helps you back up. That's a form of augmented reality. NFL has been using it for many, many years now. The first down line makes the game very easy to understand. For a person like me, I started following the game about 7-8 years ago. The first time I went to see the game, I could not understand where are they going, where are the markers. So just an example how it is easy to get used to this technology and how simple it makes our life. Anybody heard of Pokemon Go? Anybody played Pokemon Go? Only one person? Seriously? Yeah, another form of augmented reality. But what happens is with many of these basic AR applications is that they just overlay the digital content on the field of view. They are not anchored. It doesn't behave like a real object. But a lot of advancement is going in this AR field, and we are seeing continuous advancements in the software technology. We do have very intelligent AR applications now. One example of that kind of intelligent AR application, Snapchat filters. Anybody heard of that? Anybody use that? I have used it on somebody's phone. It is funny that the app is intelligent. Even when the user moves his or her head, those fake ears, that fake nose moves along with it. So the app is intelligent. It recognizes the movement. It anchors the digital content onto a real object, in this case, the user's face. So the object, the fake object, the digital object behaves almost like a real one. Even the Pokemon Go that started as a very basic application, they have made improvements to the app as well. And now the animated character behaves almost like a real one. It can run around and hide behind objects. In this picture, it's hiding behind somebody's legs. So in last 3-4 years, we have gone very far with the advancement in the technology. Even with NFL markers, these markers behave like a real object. You can see the player is on top of the marker. But the thing is that earlier, NFL used to do this software technology, and it was broadcasted on the television. Now, this technology, the applications can run locally on your smartphone. We can do it in real time. So not only smart glasses, AR applications can run on your smartphones, on your tablets as well. And that's why I think it's gaining quite a lot of popularity in the last 3-4 years, because you don't have to buy a special gear for this. And now mixed reality. Mixed reality makes things a little bit complicated because I personally think of it as an advanced form of AR application, advanced form of augmented reality. Because with mixed reality as well, only your partial field of view is taken by digital content. But one difference is that you need a special headset for this, Magic Leap One or Microsoft HoloLens. And with these devices, they are sophisticated pieces of hardware. They have a lot more sensors. So they create a very rich AR experience for the user. And another difference is that the user is able to interact with the digital content with hand gestures, which is not possible with other smart glasses or your phone or a tablet. I want to point out, when ARC says augmented reality, or when I say augmented reality, I mean to include both AR and MR in the same word, augmented reality. Now, one may think that, okay, it's good for the gaming industry, it's good for entertainment, I like Snapchat filter, but what's the use in the industrial world? And it is helping us solve many problems, but according to me, one of the biggest challenge it is helping us address is the skills gap. And I stole this slide from one of my colleague, and he made a very excellent slide saying, how over the years we have attrition, and then we have a restaffing plan, but we still have a gap. I think he made this slide 15 years ago. Now I don't have to sell this slide to anybody. I don't have to explain it. Nearly all the conversations I have had at this conference mention skills gap. It is real. End users feel it. Suppliers feel it as well. It's a challenge for everyone. I saw some of these stats somewhere that 10,000 boomers in the US alone are retiring every day. And by 2025, there will be 2 million unfilled positions. It is, for me as well, I've been hearing about skills gap quite a lot. And even for me, it's hard to believe 2 million unfilled jobs, really? There are many digital technologies out there. We are talking about IoT, we are talking about remote monitoring, smart assets, and AR, VR. I think what these technologies are helping us do is that they are helping us address the skills gap. Over the years, what has happened is we have relied on automation quite a lot. We have automated a lot of tasks, and we are struggling to fill positions in the industrial world. So whoever the remaining workers in the industrial world, they have to perform a lot of tasks, multiple tasks, complex tasks. So what if we can use the technology and present them only the relevant information and data when it is needed, help them simplify their job? They have a lot of tribal knowledge. A lot of boomers, they have learned by doing the same thing over and over 30 years, 40 years. And when they're going to retire, they're going to take all that knowledge away with them. How can we capture that knowledge? And how can we present that knowledge to the younger generation who's entering the workforce? How can we deliver the content in an easy manner? What if the inspector, when they are doing inspections, rather than filling a paper form, can fill the form by voice command? That would make their work easier, right? So I'll talk about some of the most common applications that we are seeing in the industry. And one is remote collaboration. Every industry, there are times when the workers need to collaborate with the remote expert. And video conferencing tools are great, but AR goes one step beyond that. So the remote expert can guide the worker through video instructions, audio instructions, and also with AR tools such as markers, tags. And I was talking about how with AR now we can anchor the content, which is very important. You can see in one of the picture, the remote expert has highlighted, circled something. And if you move your tablet a little bit, that circle may move as well if it's not anchored to the correct position. So anchoring is very helpful. So this technology is proving out to be very helpful. On another picture, you are seeing somebody getting instructions from the dad to fix a faucet. I would never do that. I don't trust myself even with the instructions. But yeah. Another application is training. I mentioned how VR is becoming very popular for training purposes. One can use AR applications for training as well, which records the video instructions, audio instructions, along with AR tags, annotations. So the trainees go through the training step by step. Once they do the first step, the AR application recognizes that and gives them the second step, third step, and so on. So the trainees are able to learn by doing. They get hands-on training experience with AR. So helping companies create effective and interactive training programs. AR is finding its way in operations as well, in maintenance as well, and Santiago will share how they are using it in warehouses. So again, pretty much similar to how we can do with training, it gives step-by-step instructions in the assembly work in automotive, in semiconductor as well, where workers have to assemble hundreds of parts. Either they have to rely on printed instructions or they have to memorize the step. And AR can simplify their job by giving them instructions one by one. And of course, if we can capture the data automatically, if we can integrate it with other systems, say if we can integrate it with warehouse management system or our ERP system, and that data is captured automatically, if we are integrating it well, it could be of great use. At ARC, we did a study recently, and the market is still small. It's about 250 million, but the market is growing pretty rapidly. And some of the areas that we see is that maintenance right now is the biggest area, but training is growing and operations is growing as well. Now, if end users are thinking about adoption of this technology, where do they start? It's not an easy question to answer because you have to think about a lot of things and many more. But with any technology, I think the first step is due diligence, right? And especially with a technology like this, because it changes everything. The way you input data, the way you get the output, it's a big change for your workforce. So you need to make sure that you're moving in the right direction and you answer all the critical questions before. Again, what could be a good starting point according to ARC? One approach is obviously do it yourself, that you can buy a hardware and try to write the software by yourself. Not many companies are doing that, and I would not recommend that personally as well, because most of the people over here are in the business of making paper or making chemical. You are not in the business of writing software, right? So probably not a good approach. It works for some. Boeing, Bosch, they are doing a lot of it on their own. From time to time, they do partner with somebody. Boeing is a pioneer in the space. They kind of researched about the space early on as well. So they are continuing to do that. There are a lot of augmented reality companies out there. Thanks to the great interest from the venture world. There are hundreds and hundreds of AR companies out there, but there are few that are focused on the industrial world. They have off-the-shelf kind of applications, and they can help you with the adoption of this technology. Working with those companies can be a good starting point as well. A lot of the industry players that we are familiar with, such as Honeywell, Aviva, ABB, Schneider, they are trying to incorporate augmented reality into their solutions. So that's also a good starting point. ABB is making it a part of ABB Ability, or Connected, Honeywell doing for Connected Plant. So that's a good starting point as well. One can look into that. Strategies for success. One thing that we always say and hear others say is that adoption of technology for the sake of technology is not a good strategy, right? So we need to start with the problem. We need to see what kind of goal we want to achieve, what kind of challenges we want to address with this. So we have to start with that, and then look at various AI applications that are available out there and see which one makes sense for us to start with. Integration is going to be the key. If we are using it for maintenance or operations or training, we need to make sure that the AI application is integrated well with the relevant business system. If it's for maintenance, make sure it's integrated with your asset management system, your EAM system, or field service management system. If you're using it in the warehouse, we need to think of integrating with warehouse management system or ERP system, and so on. Partners are going to be very important. It's a new technology. It's a new technology for everyone. So we need partners regarding hardware, regarding software. We may need custom consulting too. So it's very important to work closely with the partners. And partners learn from end user experience as well. They want to improve their product too. So the more end users and suppliers work together, the better it is going to be for the industry. With that, I'm going to say thank you, everyone, for your attention, and I'm going to invite our next speaker, Matt Maladi. He's with Reliance Industries.